Has anyone here seen 500 Days of Summer?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, I recommend to anyone listening, I recommend that as like number one thing to watch if you were like very recently put in the friend zone, or if you were like just recently like faced some kind of breakup or something like that. Because it's great movie. And there's the one line in it that just struck me. It was near the end. Spoiler alert. Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Nope. And then the girl from New Girl, whatever her name is, Zooey Deschanel. Yeah. So they broke up. It's been a couple months. Robin from Dark Knight Rises is going all the way, like doing everything wrong, like when it comes to like a breakup or like a friend zoning kind of thing. Is just making it all about himself, wondering how could this happen. And then they meet up again on a park bench, and then they sort of talk about the relationship. You find out that Zooey Deschanel is married, and it's just been a couple months since the two of them broke up. And of course, I had sort of like the natural reaction at the start of that scene where I was like, that son of a, how could she do that to Joseph Gordon-Levitt? God. And then the scene keeps on going, and they talk about like her meeting the new guy, and finally Joseph is like, oh well, what happened next? And then she says, quite simply, and then I felt something that I just never felt with you, and I was. Yeah, and yeah, it was a little bit of like a stab, but it was also like one of those like mind-opening things. You say to yourself like, oh, like so often we forget like this is another person with their own completely different set of feelings and their own like things that they're looking for, things that they aren't looking for. And if you don't have all that to offer to that person, it's nothing wrong with you. It simply is a sheer case of incompatibility.
Because the whole thing is he's really in love with this idea of Summer as opposed to who she actually is. Because one of the weird markers of realizing that I've grown up was the first time I watched it when it came out, I was 14. I was on Tom's side. I was so mad at Summer. I rewatched it when I was maybe 22 or 23, and I found myself relating more to Summer.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, poor girl. She has to deal with this dude. Like.
Yeah. And like it's tough too, because it's not like he's not like some kind of like evil dude who like is like treats her really wrong. He's just a person who is legit infatuated with this idea of a relationship. And that says so much about just like, I think anyone can relate to that. Like we've all had that kind of person, whether it's ourselves or whether it's someone we've known who's just had that like long standing crush that we know, just we sort of know deep down it's not quite the thing that they're looking for, the thing that they're building it up to be.